Hi guys, what's going on? This is Namkraft. Welcome to the Sister Starcraft English commentary. This is gonna be another one of those guaranteed to be epic handpicked game by me, part of the DPL series. This time around, I'm gonna release this video as soon as I post it so that all of you guys can enjoy. But there's gonna be more epicness coming along the way, so get ready for that. And as usual, if you are among my supporters, you will get access to those games in a private playlist called Namkraft Private and Early Release Videos. Not this one though. This one we just get released a little bit earlier for everyone to enjoy. And by the way, this game will be slightly different. We will not have, you know, very big names coming along the way. Today would rather have two very kind of standard players. They're not top of the cream of the crop of the top anymore. It's going to be Royal versus Mini. And especially, I am very interested to see how Royal is doing because, you know, whether you like him or not, he is one of what is it, ASL champions. He has won an ASL before. I think it was season 16 or 15 or 14 or, you know, something along those lines. But let's see if he's gonna be able to have a chance to fight against Mini. I handpicked this game, so rest assured that this game will be amazing. I don't know who won the game, but I kind of understand the gist of this game. We will have Mini spawning at the top left corner of the map in the orange color. You can see that. And what is it, yellow, orange? And then Royal's gonna be coming at the bottom right, and we have cross-map scouting coming out from Mini. This is unusual. Usually we want to see the Protoss, or both of the players rather, or both of the races, or any of the races, they would scout clockwise or anti-clockwise, depending on whether you want to get the same information advantage compared to their enemy. But this time around, he's gonna be going for cross-map scouting. This is gonna throw Royal a little bit off, because as a defending Terran player, when you see a probe coming out at this weird timing, you suspect it's going to be a 12 Nexus, but it's not going to be 12 Nexus. But hey, just hold that thought, because this SCV is under chase, and the current commentators were very excited to show that the SSC finally gets sniped by the probe, and the probe leaves with just 3 health remaining and 0 shield. So that was a nice touch by Mini. Of course, Mini is a king of micro. You see this, his APM is always very high at this early stage of the game. You can enjoy him at 480 APM, so that is typical Mini for you. Not all of those APMs would translate into, you know, good results. Keep that in mind. And he's definitely not a top player right now. Speaking of top players, who are the creams of the crop? Let me just quickly show you the ELO stats that I just picked up today. So in the world of Broodwar, here are the top players. As you can see, Flash is number 1, and Light has climbed back up to number 2. Light was kind of away from the top ranking for a while, but he's back. And then we will also have, who else do I want to do? I just want to quickly show you the other players. Roy, of course, he's not in the top 10. He's only 12-10, and Mini is 1344, and he's just inside the top 10. He's around number 7 or so. So that's what we have coming up ahead of us. And let's just quickly check the win rates per matchup for these players. So as you can see, for Royal against Protoss is decent, 51%, and as for Mini against Terran, this is weakest matchup right now at 44 in the last 30 days. So basically, those are the stats. And by the way, we will have the prelims for the ASL Season 20 coming up this weekend. I believe it's going to be on Saturday noon Korean time, so that might be night your time. So please tune in on Namkraft to enjoy those games. Don't sleep that night. You know, stay up and enjoy the various positions with me, and I mean Starcraft spawn positions. I don't mean other kind of position that you have at night. Although I also enjoy those kind of positions. But I usually enjoy those positions with somebody else. I don't enjoy those alone. But Starcraft positioning, I would enjoy alone. But with you guys. But that's online, so that's a different matter. We have several Dragoons coming out from Mini now, chasing and making sure that those you know, vultures cannot do any kind of damages. And we're seeing, what is it, 5th minute mark for the game. Mini has got 36 supply and Royal's got 29. This is very standard. We don't see any advantage going to one player or the other. Of course, Protoss player will always have a slightly more supply lead compared to the enemy, especially in the early stage. As the game progresses around the mid-game, you know, timing, you know, around 15 minutes or so, we might see Protoss about 20 to 30 supply ahead, but it doesn't really mean much. But these days, with the Temptar strategy, where Protoss is going for, you know, massive shuttles and Zelle out with leg and High Templars, and even upgrading High Templar energy so that each High Templar can cast a maximum of 3 storms. And then we might see the Protoss side don't even have any, supply advantage, and that is fine. And the game becomes purely tactical. It becomes who would, have the best battle results. One vulture gets sniped, nicely done. But Mini, of course, at this early stage doesn't mean anything. So, I feel like in 2025, PvT is becoming a little bit like ZVT, in that the Protoss is very weak in the early stage before the High Templars become active. Once they have the High Templars, the Terran player can just pray to God that they survive, and the Terran can take 5, 6 bases these days. In the old days, in the days of the non-Gosus, once the Terran player has 5 or 6 bases, the game is finished for the Protoss player. But, in 2025, even if the Terran has got 5 bases and Protoss got 6, one nice decisive battle, and the Protoss can still win. And it all comes down to execution, like I mentioned. And also, I feel like a lot of it is about what to do with information you don't know. A good Protoss player, because a Protoss player don't have the advantage of visions with scanners like Terran player, have to rely mostly on the intuition. Sometimes the Terran has made a move on a various, on a different locations of the map, and a Protoss player is not aware of that. He cannot concentrate all of the forces to really take advantage of the situation to kill out that small Terran force. And that sometimes breaks the game for the Protoss player. So I feel like, what kind of intuition, how can you, think like the Terran player when you don't have vision? Of course, placing observers in critical locations is also important, but these days, Terran players have been so good with sniping observers, and also having the science vessel together with army in the late game, so it makes it very difficult to actually keep those observers alive and have vision on the Terran movement. And of course, one more thing, if you are following Namkraft, oh my god, Vultures goes inside the base, and we're gonna be having a blockade. Yeah, it's gonna be just fine, because the Vultures, don't have enough time to actually get there, and the probe survives as well. But we have an attack on the third base. This attack is looking very strong, but we have an observer trailing this group of forces. There are no probes there right now, so I'm not so sure what is going to be the decision. But for now, the Nexus is up, so keep that in mind. Once the Nexus is up, Mini cannot cancel it. Well, of course, it goes without saying. But we are seeing Dragoons in position to try to stop these tanks and these vultures. And looks like at the last minute, Royals decide to back up. He's not yet sieging. He's got a single SCV. He's got 0 SCVs, which means he cannot actually make a lot of turrets. And the tanks are going to get cornered from both sides. He loses the first tank. There's still 4 more tanks. The Dragoons are trying very hard to run towards the right side. This is a nice sandwich. This is like one of those Vietnamese banh mi. If you had one of those, go ahead and eat them. It's very delicious and healthy and spicy and fatty and what else, whatever is the description you want to have for it. I love it. The banh mi is so long and delicious and yummy and so fatty. Anyways, this base will finally come up, and we will have the Reaver. I think the Shadow does a really good job of scaring Royal's forces just by being there. Anyways, now probes will get transferred, and the game will stabilize, and it's going to be the time for me to start to thank my fans, the people who have supported me in the last 30 days. I'm just going to quickly show you their photo. So Mr. Who's this guy? Mr. Sea Goblin, thank you for your support. In the last 3 days, he is a veteran. He has supported me for 9 or 10 weeks straight. 9 or 10 months straight. He's very proficient with Namkraft supported. And Mr. Daniel as well, thank you for support. Mr. Wang. And I think that's it. I think for this month, those are people. Some of you have supported me a little bit before that, so I thank you as well, but I will not name you personally, so that's, I think you don't really care about naming, right? You just care about having a good time with me, so that's good. Anyways, what are we seeing now? Looks like Royal is just gonna stay put, because Mini has got up to his 3 bases. Shadow with speed should be underway if it's not already underway, and Mini is being very careful to take a 4th base. At the 12 o'clock position, there are some mines that the probe is trailing with the Dragoons. There's going to be some turrets in position, and the Shadow comes in. The Reaver is going to take double shot. If he gets 2 tanks for the price of a Zealot, it's great. He doesn't kill the tank. He could have landed another Zealot and take another Reaver shot, but maybe he doesn't have a second Zealot. I'm not so sure what was the deal with that. But anyhow, the game is going to continue to go on. These vultures are once again looking for OP openings and not able to find one vulture. No, both of the vultures survive in the middle of the map there. We have an observer getting sniped. Like I mentioned to you, the Terran player is so good with sniping observers these days. We have a nice Reaver shot that damages the vultures but not yet fully destroyed. Watch out for this right flank here, as the vultures might try to go out and look for openings. As we are seeing that some of the dragoons are in position and ready to intercept, and these vultures have been damaged. One snipe right away. Every single unit count at this early stage. With the Reaver containing the forces from the left side and Dragoons containing the forces on the right side, Royo find it very difficult to either attack or expand. There's a shadow that flies in. He's gonna land a Zealot. He's gonna take care of that turret, but there's gonna be more stuff in the main. No, he's gonna, yeah, he takes a shot. That's going to be that. That's gonna be slightly unfortunate. Goliath's in position, so these, okay, he hits some SCVs though. He kills 9 SCVs total. I'm not so sure if some of those SCVs were from before, but he did definitely kill it. And the shadow is going to get sniped. He will land a Reaver. He will take one good blast shot at one SCV and maybe kill another vultures. He's gonna wait for it. No, he doesn't get any vultures at all, so that was a nice damaging shot, and that really slowed down the expansion. Of course, the commentator is not yet completed anyway, so of course it's just going to be a nice diversion tactic. We are going to be seeing Templar archives. The doing is already finished, and of course probes getting transferred towards the next base. I'd say that right by now, and Mini's got the advantage because he's gonna have his 4th bases, and Terran find it difficult to move out. He's gonna try to expand, and by then Mini would have the 5th base in position, but these Dragoons need to leave alive. He will lose the bulk of these forces if he doesn't hurry, and indeed he lose something like 5 Dragoons, which is not really what you want to have here. But never mind, the game will go on, and like I tell you, this is an epic, guaranteed to be epic game. So slap subscribe now if you are, you know, in the zone, whatever. We're going to be seeing the 5th base coming up for Mini in the bottom left. This is an interesting choice. He chose to expand towards the bottom left instead of top right, which is closer towards the 12 o'clock position and easier to kind of reinforce. We have a nice shadow attack. He would need to get at least one Goliath. He's gonna try to get the tank. He gets what? He gets the tank, but they're all surviving. That was so perfectionism from crazy perfectionism from Mini. He wanted to get some tanks, but instead he got nothing. You know, of course, those tanks needed to be damaged from before, but they were not. So that was a problem. And now those tanks will get repaired. Of course, it also, you know, it depends on whether Royo will actually spend money to repair those tanks or not, because it would take 5 or 6 SV to repair those 5 or 6 tanks. Anyways, Dragoon's gonna try to come forward, and Mini has retreated. He hurt the tank sieging. Nicely done. Zealot with leg has completed. 12-minute mark of the game. We're still seeing a nice even situation here with about 35 to 40 supply differential between these two players. One vulture gets sniped, but the other one is gonna go up, and the probe cannot expand. The Shadow's gonna try to save it. He will need to hurry up because the probe is gonna lose its life here. The cannon goes up, but the vulture is already there. So mission accomplished. Fait accompli, as we say in French, but that's a completely different meaning. But we will have probes getting transferred towards the bottom left side of the map. And yeah, the game gone. So Mini has got a nice healthy 40 supply lead, but of course this will just translate to a very small advantage. I would say not a huge advantage, but in terms of the overall flow of the game, he's able to go up to, you know, Templar tech without problems, and he's got his double robotics, which means a lot. These vultures with speed can do a lot of damages. They missed the probes getting transferred though, so that's slightly unfortunate. I think there's about 1 or 2 cannons here, so these vultures can still do a lot of damage. He's gonna try to move towards the bottom left. There are cannons in position already, several cannons. So let's see how much damage these vultures can do. Maybe one of the vultures will get sniped right away. For now, Mini has got an overabundance of minerals, need to use it. He's got 1,500 minerals, and his APM has dropped to 360, but he's not using it. Mini doesn't like to expand, unlike Namkraft, who loves expanding. Mini is all about just battles. He loves, I mean, he plays Starcraft like he plays, you know, Tekken, or, you know, what is it, Street Fighters. It's all about the brawl, right? It's all about, you know, I'm gonna show you the coolest trick, you know, with my shadow, and that's it. He doesn't really, okay, we have a drop. Okay, this is gonna get interesting. Of course, there's a lot of cannons in the various locations. I mean, even this base right here is hard to drop because, I mean, the cannons cover everything. Of course, he's gonna be going for a tank drop, which is slightly more you know, more damaging, more effective than the normal vulture drop. But the army is moving to the middle. +1 weapons and +1 armor. I believe there are some High Templars in waiting. Royo's gonna be super careful. He arrives here, but he sees a cannon. He's gonna drop what now? We have a Zealot. The Zealot will try to snipe the vultures. Of course, the tank is, excuse me, the cannon is helping out a lot. The cannon gets what? He's gonna try to snipe the dropship. He gets nothing. All of the 4 units are still alive. That was so perfectionist from Mini. If you have just, instead of target, even a vulture would have gotten something, but there's going to be an attack in the middle right here. No, he pulls back. Both the players have pulled back. Nicely done. And then the Dragoons will slowly crawl up on the high ground. The cannon has been destroyed. The Zealot will be buying some time. But now that tank is very damaged. He's gonna try to get the dropship. He gets the dropship. He gets a tank next, which is a nice idea. He needs to now get the weak vulture. That is the way to play, man. He played nicely. A single Dragoon was able to snipe four pieces on the chessboard there. So that was nicely done. We have maxed out army from Mini. He plows forward with a huge army. This is Protoss scariness at its max. But at the last minute, I think Royo is able to hold. But look at the map. Mini has taken, let me just quickly show you. He's taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bases, right? And as for Royo, he's still on 3, so that's gonna be a problem for Royo. He's gonna finally, float his command center out. But this could be a long and strenuous walk here. This is like the long march in Chinese communist history. Nice attack. The Goliaths are trying very hard to snipe the shadow. It doesn't get anything. All of the cargo has been unloaded. Nice storm that hits something, but nice retreat. We need to have another one that hits all that huge clumps of tank. He gets a single tank only, and he's gonna back up. Of course, those high templars can actually retrieve the energy a little bit later. And okay, Mini is forgetting about economy. Look at his bank account, 4,000 minerals. He's all about just attack and attack. I don't really care about bases. I don't need to make any more forces. I would just trade and trade and trade and trade. 4,000 minerals. He will finally now make a lot of stuff. He will make some cannons. He will make some gateway. He need to spam, the buttons on his gateway, or maybe switch to carriers or something. Anyways, we're going to be having high templar. Yeah, he has not upgraded high templar with energy, guys. Keep that in mind. So those high templars can only have maximum of 2 storms. But I'm sure at some point he will upgrade to full energy. So that's going to be something to keep in mind here. What are we seeing in the middle map? We're seeing some nice engagements, Terran in positioning, and finally this base will come up. Probes are not yet transferred. I guess Mini is also fearful of vulture run by. That cuts his probe production down. These vultures are trying to move towards the top right, but it's going to be very, very hard. Nice storm. I feel like Mini, even though he's not spending all of his money, is in complete control of the situation. And this is an interesting effect of PvT also in 2025, which is that we're seeing the players allowing their mineral intake to completely go up the roof here. And that's an interesting way to play. Meaning that you are prioritizing battle effectiveness than a huge economy. In foresight, I believe it's not the way to play StarCraft because in StarCraft economy is everything, right? But I guess in hindsight, these guys are so good that they know that the most important thing is to actually have some nice battles. And his one tank gets sniped, and now looks like Royo is gonna try to force the army down the throat of Mini here. This base is gonna be falling, so we shall see. He has got his triple shadow. Not so sure if he's gonna be able to actually wield them. And Vulture's gonna try to come out to snipe those bases. And we have maxed out army for Mini, but he's not using most of his army. I'm not sure exactly where they are. There they are coming, converging from both sides here. We're gonna be seeing this kind of northern battalion. Oh my God! High Templars get caught in transit. He gets how many vultures? He gets a lot of vultures. So nicely done. But now he's gonna be losing 5 High Templars for the price of what is it? Maybe 6 vultures. Not the kind of prices you want to pay for those, for those cheap vultures. But anyways, he's trying very hard to save this base. A lot of Goliaths. He will snipe 3 observer, but at the right moment, the shadow flies through, and he casts a lot of storms on these clunky and clumsy and very, very slow-moving German tanks. I'm not so sure why I say German there. These tanks don't have nationality, and it looks like Mini is going to be losing a lot of forces, but he is still, near maxed out, and he saves his base. Of course, he cannot saturate it right now. All right, that's unfortunate. We have a mine explosion, and we're going to be having a command center going up right in the face of the enemy here. at the what is it, 7 o'clock position. So Warrior's gonna try to mine from it. Mini's got 5,300 minerals in the bank. It's the moment to use those monies, my friend. Monies. Anyways, Dragoon's gonna be losing, and with that, the Vultures will plow through and attack the back line. Minis, what is he doing? Oh my god, clumsy, typical Mini for you there, just attacking blindly. He is going to be losing all of his Dragoons. He's able to cast one Storm, but that means that his 10 o'clock base will fall as well, because the enemy will take advantage of that situation to actually finish off the attack. And the Nexus will fall, but we will have some Zealot dropping. He's gonna try to drive the mines onto the Vultures, but not so sure how successful that will be. The Shadows are not unloading, and finally he will unload. This Nexus will get saved. Nicely done. We are seeing Command Center saturated at the 7 o'clock position. Goliath's getting on the high ground. We will have more attacks. Zealot coming through. There's gonna be a Mine Drag. He casts a Great Storm just as the tank goes into siege mode. Goliath's gonna try to snipe his Shadows, but not able to do so. We have some great bombing from the sky. B-52 bombers here. Nicely done. Of course, Mini is finding it very hard to use his money. He's not so sure how much, what to spend it on, because he's always nearing maxed out, but he's not able to deplete the Terran's army. I guess this is the way to play. I think I finally understand it. Why doesn't Mini use his money? Because if he uses money unwisely, it will be inefficient, right? It will be inefficient. So, one way to use your money very, very wisely is to, unwisely rather, is to just bang an entire 200 supply worth of army onto the tank siege positions, right? Alright, we're seeing him using it in a different way. He's gonna be going for carriers. Nicely done. Nice explosion, killing 3 tanks and saving the ramp for the timing. Mini 180 supply, and he will finally have his carriers. Keep in mind, his gas flow is not bad. His gas flow is quite good, so he can just keep on doing this for a while. He's got a lot of geysers, and now he will benefit from this new base. Well, because he need to keep on sending forces towards that side. The top right is being mined, and this entire base has been up for like 5 minutes. This one right here at the 1 o'clock position, but it's not being mined at all. There's gonna be some Zealot bombing, and he needs to kill that SCV. Does he get the SCV or not? He's gonna try to get the Goliath, attack the SCV. Oh my god, the turret completes, which means all of these Shadows will fall. But he's gonna try to snipe it, so to stop the vision for the Terran players, temporarily a little bit. Okay, we have an SCV who's gonna just hug those high temperatures a little bit. And yeah, 22nd minute out of the game, and Mini 5,000 minerals in the bank. Just microing his heart out. Nice Storm, and we have another Shadow that flies through. Let's see what kind of damage he can do. He will lose 1 Shadow, but he's got a backup Shadow on the backside. These high temperatures, I think, now have three Storms available, so he will try to hold it. And come out here. There's gonna be 1 more Storm. Nice pull back. And we have a Shadow. Yeah, very nice micro. Lovely micro from Mini. And he is being very, very patient to try to buy time for this base. He just need to mine it out a little bit more, because even if the Terran player takes this base and that base has been mined for a while, he won't mind losing it. Anyways, the high jump has got full energy, but he's not using it. We have a huge Protoss push right through the middle. I believe these areas are lightly guarded right here in the center, so if actually he can attack it, it will be great, but he will not do that. He will try to save his base instead, coming from the left angle. Command Center getting created right in the enemy territory. We have how many Stargate? I think like 5 or 6 Stargate. The transition is on. And I guess Mini South says, you know what, I will give you this base. I don't really care. Once you transition into carriers, it doesn't really matter that much how much base you have. I mean, economic income is not that relevant anymore. What matters more is, once again, how well you execute those carrier attacks. Okay, we have a Command Center that cancels itself. I guess he will plant it right here after he clears up the battlefield. For the time being, Mini is still doing okay in terms of economy. He's got 4,600 minerals. He will be mined out in several locations, but he is waiting for his Psy to kick in so that he can actually make some of them carriers. Nice Storm to trade well here, and we have a Dark Templar that just hang out there and do nothing. Nicely done, and this base will fall as well. So Protoss is going to be losing the entire bottom left. We have a scan. He heard, maybe he heard the Dark Templar, attacking, but he thought it was this base, but it's not. It's some other bases. Yeah, and so now we're going to be seeing Mini just abandon this base with his cannons. He cannot mine much from it, but now we're going to be having 4 carriers. The high templar has gotta do something. He's arriving a little bit late to the scene there. Very, very lonely. A single high templar. And yo, okay, officially every single base on this map has been touched by somebody. Because now we're seeing even this 230 position is gonna get taken by Mini. He will have his 4 carriers and he will need to engage them fast. We're seeing tank forces moving right to the middle here. This 12 o'clock base is mined out, so he doesn't want to attack it. He possibly want to attack the top right angle. Vultures destroying these cannons before they can come online. Nicely done. But for revenge, we are seeing at least 4 tanks getting sniped very quickly, and Goliaths are not inside. Losing 8 or 7 tanks is not the right thing to have here. And if we even have a probe, he's gonna be with actually remake Nexus very, very quickly. Nice storm to slow down the tank advancement, and those probes who need to get on the high ground. 4 carriers, they're gonna, of course, they're a little bit low on interceptors. They will slowly build up the interceptor count. The carriers, the cannons are trying to slow down these tanks, but there's like very light defenses on this left side. All of these units get destroyed, and a huge ground army attacks as the carriers takes out the tanks on the high ground. The Dragoons and Zealots will take care of the Goliaths. We have, I believe, only 2 tanks on high ground, and one tank will fall very, very quickly. Behind that, there's gonna be just turrets. So those ground forces will just slowly creep up on the high ground and destroy every single unit. But now, Royce decided, I'm gonna take the top right inside. But this base has been mining for a while. But keep in mind that Mini was late to transfer his probes there. He's got very few probes, so the number of mineral patches remaining on that base is quite healthy, I believe, for Royal. Anyways, nice storm again. Once again, if you're playing PvT these days for the Protoss side, minerals don't really matter. It's about how you engage and how you trade effectively, even with the very, very small amount of bases and economic power you have. But now we're gonna be seeing this base falls, and okay, nice storm to kill out all of those units. And carrier's gonna come out, and Mini need to also expand towards the bottom left again, because he's gonna be losing this base at the top right. Tanks are slowly climbing forwards. Mini's decided he's gonna attack the 6 o'clock position. Not a bad idea, because Royo technically, this is his only mining base, because all of the other bases is very, very, very thin in minerals, patches. We have a Dart Templar coming out, just buying a lot of time. He's gonna send another Dart Templar out. This Dart Templar is gonna be falling. Nice reaction there by Royo. 27-minute off the mark of the game, and Mini is his money situation is not looking good. Down to 1600 minerals. Need to re-expand towards the bottom left. Another Dart Templar come out to slowly buy time, and as he attack this side, and another scan. Nicely done. A little bit too late. Look at how many Goliaths there are. A huge amount of Goliaths. Looks like at the last minute those carriers will change position. He will attack the center and try to clear those tanks so that the infantry can arrive. Goliaths are chasing the carriers, not bad. Both players are just trying very, very hard to win the battles. Behind this, Mini's gonna retake the entire bottom left, but he need to hurry up because these tanks are trying to clear out this top side here. Look at the Goliaths. What are they doing? The Goliaths are out of position, and that's gonna be the moment for Mini to clear the command center. Of course, afterwards the command center is cleared, he will retreat. The SCVs are trying very hard to repair. Looks like there's just enough time to save the command center from destruction. That costs a lot of minerals though. Probes getting transferred towards the bottom left, but these guys will get trapped by the vultures. Oh my god, very, very unfortunate by Mini to lose all of the probes that got transferred. Very, very typical Mini, and now Mini's situation is bad. He's got 300 minerals in the bank, and the enemy's got a lot of Goliaths. What can the carriers do? I guess they're gonna start to move towards the top right to try to catch these stray tanks. I'm not so sure how much success he will have. The main base to have some probes is very interesting. I'd say, for Mini to even cancel one of these nexus because he doesn't have money for it. He cannot hold those locations. Anyways, that command center is burning hard, man. He's forgotten to repair. It might fall at some point in the future. For now, Royo is focusing his attention on trying to attack the bottom left because that's the only mining bases remaining. The carriers arrive. He needs to actually maybe go for the command center. He needs to go for the command center. He's gonna try to go for it. He gets the sciences, so he's gonna burn down the command center that was already burning from before. Nicely done. And now actually Royo actually also doesn't have much minerals flowing. And of course, he's got a brand new base, so keep that in mind. But the battle for the bottom left is going through. In Mini, it doesn't have actually much minerals. His mineral count down to 9. He's got 9 minerals. And I believe he's not mining from any locations because like bottom left has got nothing. Anyways, he's gonna try to use the high ground advantage here, but the ground forces are plowing forward. The problem with Mini is that his bases are all stuck at the bottom left, and his carriers are trapped. He loses the first carrier of the game, and he's running out of minerals. He's trying to hold the high ground here. The carriers need to get back and do something, and now looks like Royo is gonna take the entire top right for himself. The carriers will come out. He wants to snipe some tanks, maybe get a command center or two, and just trying to play that way. We have a single Dark Templar moving through the enemy lines here, so let's see how much damage that Dark Templar is going to be able to do. He's just attacking some random SCVs. This Nexus will be falling, but the carriers will arrive. He will be able to snipe at least one tank, if not two, but maybe that's the max, and we will have nice D-matrix. We might even have EMP on those carriers. Nice attack here. Keep in mind that the ground army cannot engage yet because there are way too many tanks on the high ground. We have a scan that destroyed that Dark Templar. No, the Dark Templar arrived. It gets that tank, and he will continue on with the attack with the rest of the forces here, trying to kill those forces. And look at the stray tanks getting sniped. Nicely done. And both the players are running out of minerals, but new command center is going to be very beneficial for Royal. Mini also very few mineral probes remaining. He could try to mine from this base to have some income, so keep that in mind. Those two tanks are way too far forward. They will fall very quickly. He will, and looks like Mini's gonna try to get that tank nicely done, and now the rest of the forces are stuck below the ground, the ram. But keep in mind that Mini's income is so little that any attack he engages will cost him a lot more in terms of interceptor than he gains instead of army units he destroyed here. He's trying to get at it as many times as possible. He does get some tanks, but his carrier, his interceptor count is very low. It might be better to forget about this entire base and move towards the top right even. I think, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure what is the right thing to do here. It's going to be a nice engagement because there's a single tank only that's trying to focus on the Nexus. One carrier is going to get sniped, but carriers is not really Mini's problem right now. Interceptor is a problem. Dragoon's going to try to get on the high ground to get those Goliaths as the carriers focus attention on those three tanks at the bottom right. The Goliaths are trying very hard. There are no more cannons, so those Goliaths are free to chase those carriers. At the last minute, how many carriers get sniped? Those carriers are still alive. And Royo find it hard to get on these high grounds. He's got a brand new base, so keep that in mind. The Goliaths get pushed back. Oh my god! 31st minute of the game. I thought that Mini is completely dead, but he's still fighting. He's got 400 minerals, and the number of Goliaths is very small. Of course, the number of interceptors are not high either, so keep that in mind. And we're seeing, you know, Mini trying to abuse the map and try to stay towards this southern side, but he's got to be super careful. He gets another Goliath, but look at how much interceptor he's burning through. He's burning through cash more than a startup in the Silicon Valley, man. Dragoons are finally engaged because he heard the unsiege what is it, motion or sound. There's got to be a scan. He will need to snipe the observer. No, he forgets about it. He just you know, attack the carriers instead. But now those carriers are okay. I think one more carrier died there amidst the craziness in that battle. One more carrier has fallen, and now I guess all of the tanks are destroyed, but Mini's forces are very small. He's gonna try to move forward. He's got a lot of money. I would say, you know, maybe make high templars because he's got 1,000 and, you know, more than 1,000 gas. Anyways, some more carriers getting sniped. Nicely done. One more thing is that if Mini can try to, you know, snipe command centers and try to, you know, abuse the fact that the Terran side has only one science vessels, it might be a good thing. He's clearing the observers in the middle here. So for the timing, the entire bottom left for Mini is kind of secured, I'd say. It's kind of secured, but he needs to play more carefully. And now we're seeing some high temperatures. Mini's gas count is going up very slowly as well. Keep that in mind. He's got not much chance to actually go for gas. This base is almost mined out. Mini, he's got, I think, just 5 or 6 carriers. Not much. He doesn't have much in the way of carriers. But he was able to actually keep the number of SCVs very low as well on the enemy side. But Royo can rebuild those high temperatures very quickly. Excuse me, those SCVs very quickly. Going to be having an engagement here. High temperatures going to cast a storm. Nicely done. Those tanks are not in siege mode. They will take a lot of hits, and behind this, the carriers have engaged towards the top right now. So these armies are trapped in the middle. Royo still thinks that the carriers are with this infantry, but they're not. They've completely gone somewhere else, and now he will just snipe the command center one by one. Looks like the Goliaths are struggling to get there. They will not make it there on time. The first command center will fall, which means the number of mineral intake that the enemy has gone will be very low, but another commencer is gonna float towards the side. We're gonna have a great EMP that hits about 3 or 4 high templars. Nicely done. Keep in mind, we will have this commencer trying to float there. I think there's a Dark Templar in the in the corner. Nice storm, nice storm. And it looks like those tanks get pushed back. The number of Goliaths are very thin. Those Archons, of course, cannot get saved. But now we're gonna be seeing Mini coming out, and he's gonna say, you know what? I invite you to a duo. Take my bottom left. I will clear out your remaining mining locations, and I will just try to pray to God the number of intercepts that I have is enough to fight the battles here. SCVs have been evacuated. His commanders will fall. We have another commander that floats towards the other side of the map. Royal is short on cash as well. He's got 130 minerals. Not much. His commander will fall very, very quickly. We have a Zelle coming out to support. Tanks are trying to get on high ground. If Mini can somehow snipe that very annoying science vessels, it will really benefit him. What are these units? Something in the middle. Okay, those Goliaths are trying to snipe the carriers, but it would take a while. And we have a lot of high templars getting mixed in. And Mini could try to actually snipe this commander. I think this commander got lifted. Yeah, so actually Royal doesn't have that many commander. He's got one in the main that I think still remains. He's got this brand new one that comes up. He's got this one that's trying to land. Or maybe he's going to try to move towards the 7 o'clock position. That's very ambitious. We might have another EMP. A nice attack here on those Archons. That are grouped up in a bunch together, and the carriers are still getting lost in the corner trying to snipe the commander. He will finish the job and he will come back right down south and go somewhere else, and we shall see. Maybe it's going to be the moment for Mini to evacuate his probes, because every single probe matter. He's going to evacuate the entire army. Nicely done. He will need to come back, and all of the probes will get lost. Yes, we have a single Dragoon to support this Dunkirk operation here for Mini. He says, you know what, take this, I don't need it, I will come back for counterattack later. Not a bad idea. Royal is very cash strapped. His entire army is here, and it would take a long time for these tanks to get out, and he's trying to siege. He's like, okay, I expect resistance, so I will siege. And this is classical deception. He's a Decepticon, Mr. Mini, except that he's not Mini. He's quite grand in his operation, and those tanks will now unseat and go somewhere else. And Mini's gonna re-expand towards the top right. SCVs are doing some distance mining. And now Mini's gonna, recenter it here. He will come up with a lot of army. He needs to make more observers, though. Losing a Dragoon. Of course, he's got a lot of forces, so maybe one Dragoon. And why is Mini like always expanding like a fiend? Mini is like, did you see that? About 10 minutes ago, he expanded 3 bases in a row at the bottom left, and he lost them all. And now he double expanded the top right, whereas he should have used the money to make more carriers or maybe more something else, whatever. Maybe make more probes, because he actually doesn't have, like, this expansion here at the 11 o'clock position doesn't have probes on gas. I mean, it's a depleted geyser, but at this stage, every geyser counts. Every depleted geyser counts. And it's gonna be a small kind of stalemate situation here, whereas Royal is unable to move forward, and Mini is not very happy with engaging either. But it looks like Royal makes the first move. He moves towards the top right. Mini has just started to mine from that base. His probe saturation is quite nice. We will have vultures trying to get inside the main. That is a great idea in late game PvT. Sometimes these vulture run by will be very useful. You can lay mines, and any units that come out will eat the mines. You can snipe the probes that are mining the gas. There's a lot of things you can do. Anyways, wow! This is a game-changing moment. Mini has decided that Shadow is a thing, and he's gone back, and I think he hits about 10 SCVs in that engagement. Now, why these SCVs are mining in a different location? I see it. We have another commander that floats towards the 7 o'clock. There's going to be an attack here. The vultures get stopped right in the middle, and Mini, if he was not winning before, he is definitely in an advantage now. Vultures are trying very hard to snipe behind it when those hunters are still alive, but we have triple science vessels that can do a lot of EMP. There need to be a storm on those Goliaths, because we will lose the energy anyway, I think. And we have a storm drop, though, at the 7 o'clock position that's not visible to us right now. Nice storm drops. That is going to slow down Royal's money situation. And, of course, like I tell you, this base right here, 1 o'clock position, this god doesn't have any probes. I don't even know why Mini makes it. And there's going to be another storm. EMP on one of the units, but I think the science is alive. Is alive. I don't know, man. It's very tense. 39 minutes of the game, and Mini is giving us a nice cake to eat here. It's maybe too much, I believe, in terms of calories. I want to have less calories, but anyways, those D-Matrix double D-Matrix time is amazing. Nicely done. What is happening in the bottom left? I believe Royo is not mining anymore. Look at his money. It's not. He's forgotten to mine his SCVs. He's not mining his SCVs anymore, and Mini sees it. So Mini knows that he just needs to engage and just kill out these tanks and these units one by one. He's gonna win the game. He's got 1,300 minutes. I think it's enough. There's gonna be another storm. Beautiful storm. Great storm. And it's gonna be an EMP that's completely useless. There's so many Goliaths, but those Goliaths eat to the interceptor very quickly, guys. Keep that in mind. We will have SCVs resuming their activities here at the bottom left, but I believe a Dark Templar is moving through those areas to clear them out, or maybe just some Dragoons, some Zealot. So officially, Royo will be running out of money. A single Archon, there's an Archon and a Dark Templar clearing out the Command Center. An Archon is very good because it can actually attack the Command Center very quickly, and even if the Command Center floats, it can still attack it. So I think now Royo is officially dead. I believe so. He would try to get on the high ground, but the Shadow will be providing some nice shelter for the High Templars. And I think the number of EMP shots he can do, Royo, has greatly diminished. I'm not so sure. Anyways, the first tank makes it way on the high ground. There is gonna be another nice EMP. That Science Vessel is still alive. That is a one freaking life, long living Science Vessel. Another Science Vessels come out. EMP again, non-stop EMP. But now officially we only have 3 Science Vessels, but there's gonna be a snipe on the tank or another Science Vessel. So if he gets it, I think now Mini can just leave this base. There's no need for him to be here anymore. Instead, he can just try to go somewhere else. Because this base, the only purpose it has for him is to... Oh my god, the Shadow's gonna get sniped! The Shadow's very important because he can do another Operation Dunkirk later. But he doesn't do it. He's decided it's gonna be better to hold out the Alamo. So the Dunkirk has become the Alamo. And triple the Matrix tank. Triple the Matrix tank is very, very rare. Anyways, Mini is trying to invite the enemy to the battle here. There's gonna be another storm. Great dodge. Great dodge. The Battles is still on. He's waiting to attack, and because those tanks are maybe slightly out of the matrix soon, this is why Mini's decided he's gonna attack. He will get 1 tank, but now his infantry is completely gone. So Mini says, you know what, bye-bye, take my base, I don't really care. I think this is all, part of a, planned operation because Mini can go through the center and attack the other buildings. He's got a data, he's got to hide it because a single Science Vessel is lurking. A single, that is the most important unit right now for Royo is the Science Vessel. Once the Science Vessel is gone, there's nothing that stops Mini from making a single Dark Templar, the game will end. Because the number of Command Center on this map, ladies and gentlemen, right now is 0. And Royo's got 0 command center. Have you ever seen a game where Terran players got 0 command center, but the game is still on, and it's not very clear who's gonna be able to win here? Royo cannot remake another command center, right? He doesn't have the money for it. He cannot distance mine, and Mini cannot remake another Nexus. He can only do distance mining, or maybe use a Shadow. But he's, oh my god, both of the players are playing cat and mouse. But I'm not so sure who is the cat and who is the mouse because both are looking equally scary with their armies. I think the advantage is definitely with Mini because he's got storms. I think those High Templars are hidden somewhere. I'm not so sure. Maybe in one of those shadows. He's got storms, and he's still mining. I would transfer these probes back into the main because that 12 o'clock base is in a very precarious situation. I would transfer those probes in the third base to the main, and play from there. But anyways, there's gonna be some small engagement. I think Mini can just send a single Dragoon towards the bottom right and try to snipe the turrets one by one or whatever, or maybe just invite the enemy into a base trade. I think a base trade would work great right now, to say take my entire base. I don't really care. We have a Shadow. Oh my god, he's gonna cast several storms. He's gonna get the Science Vessels. Once the Science Vessels is gone, the game is over. He gets the Science Vessels, so it doesn't really matter right now. He can just retreat, but he's gonna finish the game in style and engage. More storm bases. Nicely done, Roy. I'm gonna give this game 3 stars. If you enjoyed this cast video, buy me coffee. Link to that is gonna be in the video. Bye bye.